Then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me heat it up.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the U. The New York Yankees apparently have a growing interest for third baseman Nolan Arenado of the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's do a quick breakdown of this, and we will go from there. So the Cardinals are looking at this as potentially a salary dump type move. And let's be real here before we even get into anything further. Don't front and act like this is not a Brian Cashman style move, because it is. This is from Erik Boland, 10-time Gold Glove third baseman, future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Nolan Arenado continues to come up as an option for the Yankees. He has a full no-trade clause, but since around the Cardinals, trying to get younger, is he'd waive it to come to the Bronx. He had a down year in 2024 and will be 34 in April, but he wants to win and is still an elite fielder. Now, the first thing everybody is bringing up, and I fully understand why you would, is Josh Donaldson. We saw how this went with Donaldson. We all understand that. Now, Nolan doesn't carry the quote-unquote baggage that Donaldson did of, what type of teammate is he? Is he well-liked? There was the perception that Donaldson was a bit of an asshole and blah, 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 blah. It worked well when he was really good because he was like a villain. And if you didn't play for him, if you played against him, you hated him. If you played with him, you probably loved him. And that's probably the real perception of Josh Donaldson, is when he was good, he was just good. And people didn't like that. He's probably a bit brash, and that happens. But Nolan Arenado doesn't have that. And the one thing you'll see on this screen is it is true. Nolan can certainly still field with the best of them. We know that. Did have a bit of a down year, as was said in Erik Boland's tweet there. But overall, you look at the year from Arenado last year, a 719 OPS, a 101 OPS plus, 394 slugging only, a 325 on base percentage, 272 batting average. 16 bombs on the year, 23 doubles. But this is a guy just in 22 and 23. 22, he hit 30 homers. 23, he hit 26. And again, you're obviously going to get elite defense. Now, the salary is obviously a bit scary, right? He's getting paid quite a bit now. This year, he gets paid $32 million, 2026, $27 million, and then 2027, $15 million. Apparently, I don't know how this would work if there were a trade, but the Rockies are paying $5 million of the 32 this coming year, and then $5 million of the 27 in 2026. So I don't know exactly how that would work, but I'm going to be real with you guys. This has Brian Cashman written all over it. And I don't know if the Yankees and St. Louis would be able to make a deal where maybe Marcus Stroman goes back into his deal. I know they're kind of trying to shed salary, but that would still be shedding salary on behalf of the Cardinals, and it would allow the Yankees to kind of, be a little more comfortable with that contract. I would almost have to assume, and I don't know how possible this is because the Cardinals may feel like this might diminish this player's value. If Nolan Arenado comes here and that is the deal, I really hope that Donovan's attached to that. And I know the Cardinals want to get younger is what they're saying, so that may not make sense for them. But what is why would the Yankees look to do that when you got Jazz already there? And I get it. You can then maybe sign a Christian Walker or Carlos Santana. You got a brand new infield with much better defense. That I would understand. Jazz could go to second base, Nolan at third base, and then over at first base, maybe you get Christian Walker or Carlos Santana, both very good defensively. So your infield defense is greatly improved. That would be understandable because you're not going to make up for Soto's bat. None of these guys are Juan Soto. We all get that. So you do got to get a bit creative. But This is kind of the same rabbit hole that Brian Cashman has gone down before, right? Is getting the older veteran player when they're past their prime, and then we're stuck with the final years of them not being good, and then we're looking around like DJ LeMahieu. Now, again, I'm going to raise my hand real quick and just say I'm not shitting on Brian Cashman for signing DJ LeMahieu long term. The guy was so damn good, you had to keep him here. If you want to argue the years, that's fine. Maybe you should have loaded that contract up a little more, made it more short term. They didn't do it, and now they're stuck with LeMahieu too. And I don't know. I mean, I love to talk about trade possibilities. I don't know what players would be involved. If it is a salary dump type deal that St. Louis is looking for, don't expect much to leave the New York Yankees. I mean, I don't know if the Cardinals would even sit back and go, we'll take our Marcus Stroman salary. We don't want to. If you want Nolan, he'll waive his, and that is the rumor too, that he'd be willing to waive his no trade clause. If you want him, you guys could basically just go ahead and have him, but we're not going to play this cat and mouse game here and go back and forth. If you guys want him, you're taking that salary and adios, we'll see you later. But this is a Brian Cashman style move. There's no denying that. We've seen him do this time and time again. It's an easy get for maybe a decent reward. Nolan Arenado comes to the great storied franchise of the New York Yankees. Maybe it revitalizes his career a little bit. He feels a little more, having a chance to win will kind of throw some youth back into his bat a little bit. But puts the ball in play. That's the one. If you want any pluses here, he's a great defender. He puts the ball in play. Not a big strikeout guy. Will draw his walk when he needs to. And he's probably a good club. I would assume he's a very good clubhouse presence. And, that's probably the best I can give you right now, because I can't sit here and say Nolan's going to be a 25 homer guy again and hit 275 again and have a OPS this year of 750. If he was ever able to do that, I think everybody will sign up for it. But what is the chance of that happening? Again, going to Yankee Stadium. It's not the greatest right-handed hitters park. And mind you, Brian Cashman, can I just remind you of something real quick? You just lost Juan Soto. You lost a huge left-handed bat in your lineup. Huge left-handed production. You might want to consider staying away from all the right-handed hitters. We went down this rabbit hole before. Again, remember that? When it was Luke Voit and all these right-handers in the lineup and it didn't work. And I don't mind you guys trying something different and thinking that they could still get to the porch. I get it. But the Yankees have always been really good with lefties. And you get one of the best lefties in the game here, and he almost won an MVP with your MVP, and you guys went to the World Series. I don't think it's coincidence. You need to get another lefty bat in there. And again, if they got Nolan, doesn't change that they can't do that. Nolan will be at third. Jazz would probably go to second. Nolan did say he'd be very willing to move to first base. I don't know if the Yankees would do that. They'd probably keep him at the hot corner, in my opinion. But then again, Carlos Santana is a switch hitter, so I get those lefty ABs. Christian Walker is not, and he worries me a little bit at Yankee Stadium and paying him a lot of money for the next probably 3 years, bare minimum. You got guys in the outfield, of course. Cody Bellinger would be a lefty bat to add there. Jurickson Profar would help. There's names out there, and there are ways for the Yankees to have a competitive team and improve in areas they weren't great at last year. Defense being one of them. But again, I am not going to be the guy here that's going to try to sit here and go, guys, I'm going to cheerlead this one. I'm not. But it doesn't shock me because it does feel like a Brian Cashman move all day, every day to get a salary dump and bring in a veteran like Nolan Arenado. No matter what other deal he does, it'll be interesting. Also, too, I just remembered Jason Dominguez would be expected to be in your outfield. That's another lefty. So the Yankees would still certainly have the balance and act. Of course, Jazz is a lefty, of course. Austin Wells is a lefty. So a lot of good things there. But this move is intriguing and wouldn't shock me at all to see more news later today and on to day 2 here. I believe it's day 2. Really, basically day 2. Sundays, they're all arriving. They don't really count that. But this is just another day of the winter meetings, and I can see something on this side start to pick up, and Nolan Arenado potentially to the Yankees. But Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Like, share, and subscribe to NYYU. We'll be live again later tonight, as you guys know. But until then, let me know. Peace out, guys. Talk to you later.
Can't make a promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, that's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next. Can't take calls, but I send that text. From way downtown, but the shit's still wet.